pictures. Oh, she's so pretty. If my camera didn't suck, I would take you guys outside so you could. There we go, YouTube. Hey, there we go. So, guys, the freaking moon tonight is just, she's really showing off. And then it was a weird thing happened. We went out to look at it, and Lulu was like, "It's so red," but like it didn't look red at all to me, just like maybe a little touch. But she was like, "Wow, it's so red." And that was interesting. So, but Lulu's like one of them special star children. So I don't know what she saw, but it like struck her how red it was, and it wasn't very. I mean, it had a little bit of a, um, I guess, an amber tint to it. But yeah, it really was interesting how that struck her. So I pay attention to these things. I pay attention to my kids, y'all. Y'all better be paying attention to the kids, because the kids be on some other wavelength stuff. Don't dismiss them kids when they be talking what seems crazy. You better listen. You better listen. That's for sure. So tonight, guys, we're going to talk. There was some interest last night in returning to the concept of being a counterfeit, right? And how like a black man can't really win without a black woman, and a black woman can't really win without a black man. And so we're gonna talk about that a little bit and just build it out to um, a broader understanding of community in general, right? Like you can't win by yourself. First of all, you don't. Okay, no matter what you tell yourself, you don't win by yourself. And YouTube, I'm sorry to keep forgetting this. This camera's rolling over here, but nobody ever watches YouTube anyway. So I'm just doing this for practice, I guess. Over here on the YouTube side, shady YouTube side, where nobody ever visits. But it's all good. Who knows? One of these days I might not be able to post stuff, and these little videos might be some crumbs people can follow, and get themselves somewhere good. So it doesn't matter that people aren't on it now. I've learned just to put it out there, and who gets it, gets it. But anyway, it is kind of shady to not have the camera in a position where I can see both or even be paying attention. So I'm going to call that done. Last few. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Let's just assume everybody's in the room that wants to be in here. Hi, guys. I can see you now. Kind of, sort of. Sister Teresa. She's so cute, y'all. She just made my day. She's like, hits me up. She's like, where's your live at, girl? I was fooling around. I was playing this xylophone and eating pasta and stuff. And she's like, where you at, girl? So I'm like, I'm coming. So thank you, Teresa. That made me feel special that you were looking for me, making sure you weren't missing me. We be talking that talk up in here, right, guys? I have a good time with y'all. Y'all the real ones. So y'all be glorified, magnified, and praised. First of all, may y'all speak truth through me tonight. Y'all know these things. I'm not like ministering to you. Like y'all is ministering to all of us. Hey there, Robin. So let me see. Can I do this how I think I can? Let me see. You Facebook people tell me. Is that okay? Is that like too weird for you guys, or are you okay like that? Because if that's okay, that's actually pretty great. That works nice because I can see both cameras kind of. All right. Let's get out the tub, y'all. So like now that I'm like doing all this talking, I'm like my face all dry up. So a little Vaseline goes a long way. So we talked last night about the concept of a black woman or black man rising without the other as their counterpart, and how that makes you a counterfeit, right? And remember, we came at it from the angle of black men asking us what we bring to the table, and like as if they're going to measure what we're worth, like as if they're worth anything without us. Because like, what's heads worth without tails? What's tails worth without heads? And so for heads or tails to ask them like, well, what are you worth? Right? Kind of dumb, kind of real dumb. But it's deeper just than that, okay? It has to do with, y'all forgive me, I'm just like trying to use up the rest of this Vaseline and get all the important spots, You get old stuff, you're like, skin starts to be all dry and stuff. Oh, all right, Miss Robin, you can check it out later. It'll be up if you get around to it, or just catch us next time, honey. It's no big deal. Thanks for tuning in while you can, man. Awesome. So the whole concept of winning, guys, our concept of winning This capitalist stuff is not our way. This is not what we do. This is not of us, right? It is not of us. Winning for us is very different, okay? First of all, you're going to have to get over the lies that they told you about, like all people are the same and deep down inside, we all want the same things and all that. That's a bunch of malarkey, okay? Different people are very, very different. Very, very different, right? Different groups of people have different values. So we have taken on a like Nordic, European type of a every man for himself value system, just because that's the global culture, right? And we could get into how that happened, scripturally speaking. We Hebrews and righteous ones of all nations, we sold ourselves out basically and sold each other out, right? We stopped following the true values. We stopped following spiritual and natural laws, and we ran over there and wanted to be like these other folks. And it was definitely our undoing. And so now we're living by their values, which are completely contrary to what is inherently born within, like what is us, what's our substance, right? So I'm going to just say natural and spiritual, for natural and spiritually balanced people, right? Winning is like, when you win, the person, how can I say it? The person who crosses the finish line with the most people wins, right? So for us, if you cross the finish line and it's just you did the poorest job. Like you don't win, you lose, because somebody else at least made it through with 2 people, right? And somebody else made it through like 5 people. So if you just make it through yourself, even if you get to the tippy top of the tournament and competition of life, you still lose if it's just you by yourself. That's our natural and spiritual way, right? Because that is fruitful multiplication, right? And so when you adopt a capitalist mindset, capitalism is like me first. I got to win, and then I can help other people, along and stuff, but I got to win first. But to us, you can't win first, right? Because that means you're by yourself, which means you lost because you left people behind you, right? That's why when you look at the culture of the Hebrews, right? Our culture, when you look at our ancient culture, when the Most High was making a nation of us, you have all of these laws that pertain to like making sure everybody's good, right? Like I know the concept of tithes and offerings is like, I can't even, that's a whole talk in and of itself, right? But the fact is, the concept of giving a portion of what you have of your increase, right, is so that someone who did not have as much increase doesn't go without. Like that's literally the whole concept of it. The concept of polygyny is so that people don't go without, right? The laws are so people don't go without. Like all this stuff is always about people not going without. And so for us, we can function really well in a capitalist system because a part of it is you're not supposed to just lay around and be broke together, right? The idea is to figure out how to work with the people around you so that more of you end up with more, right? Bounty, right? Exactly. It's not for the pastor to drive a BMW, but we're not saying pastors shouldn't drive BMWs. What we're saying is those pastors are failing somewhere, because if they haven't figured out how everybody can drive BMWs, then they should at least just drive a Chevy and make sure everybody can drive a Chevy. And then when it's BMW time, we're going to find out a way all of us can get BMWs, right? It's not like our winning is being poor in a group. Our winning is winning. I mean, if you think about the final destination being paradise, the streets are literally paved in gold. So I don't know how fancier you get. I don't know these people that think Jesus was poor. They're Jesus. Okay, Jesus might have been poor, but the brother Yeshua was not poor. Okay, we know that he had a treasurer, right? So poor folks, and I ain't never yet had a treasurer. Okay. I barely had somebody else do my taxes every now and then. So we don't have treasurers, right? So y'all's people are not poor, but what we do is we share and we use our resources to make sure that other people have enough to share. Not just have enough, okay? But have enough to share, because our joy is in the spreading of the blessing. That's the joy. So if I give you just enough where you really can't share, I didn't really do it good, right? Because now I'm the only person that gets to have that warm, fuzzy feeling of sharing. So no, I want you to have the warm, fuzzy feeling of sharing, right? So we have to understand that on a really broad sense, right? And then, but if we're going to boil it down smaller, let's say you don't want to think about everybody in the world eating. You don't want to think about everybody in the United States thinking. You don't even want to think about everybody in your state eating, right? Your town is overwhelming, but your family makes sense, right? And a lot of us understand it that way, right? A lot of us move in such a way that when we got it, our family knows they got it, right? Like we not somewhere eating steaks while our sister and them is over there and don't even have bread to put the peanut butter and jelly on, right? There's not a lot of us melanin people who are going to be like, oh, y'all ain't got no bread for that peanut butter and jelly? Oh, that's a shame, girl. Well, I don't know what to tell you. I only got $50 and that's going to buy my steak. So it's not a lot of us that are going to do that, right? A lot of us are going to be like, I can bet you I could find a cheaper steak and get you some bread or something. Y'all need, matter of fact, let me just I'll eat chicken. How about I get some chicken? I'll get 2 packs of chicken. I'll get me some chicken and you some chicken. I'm going to get you a little milk and some cereal for the kids in the morning. And that's how we operate, right? When we're in our right mind. But what happens is we take the drug of the disillusionment that you can actually win by yourself. And so rather than see the people around us as our opportunity to actually win by blessing them enough that they can bless somebody else, we're somewhere feeling like these people are a liability and that we need to get them off of us and they're dead weight. And we got to shed all this weight so we can rise, right? And I'm not speaking against shedding dead weight so you can rise, because that's a thing too. That's a righteous thing. You don't have the person there that's a cancer, because that cancer is going to eat away at everyone's resources, right? So, there are certain situations wherein you're not going to give that person, like if your people's is a crackhead, right? Please do not give the crackhead enough that all the crackheads have crack this week, right? There are instances where you do have to be like, yeah, so this isn't for you right now, right? This isn't for you right now. But then we don't have to like look at them like, oh my God, I could never, and all that other jazz, because you don't know where they'll be tomorrow. You don't know where you'll be tomorrow, right? So when you make those prunings, understand that the point of the pruning is just to make more secure the tree. You don't prune because you hate branches. No, that's not why you prune. You prune for sake of the health of the tree, that the tree can get the nutrients to the branches that are going to produce the most fruit or flowers or what have you, right? And so if you've got big, long, spindly, if you stretch yourself out too thin, you've got these big, long, spindly branches, right? But you don't have enough nutrients in the soil, then you're not going to get much fruit. But if you chop those branches down to like 1/3 of their length, the next season, you're going to have like 10 times as much fruit on those now shortened branches, right? And so that's the idea. And so when we look at a Black woman, like our very simplest way of expressing our divinity is marriage. That's the purest, simplest, and most spiritual way to express divinity is in having a healthy marriage. Like there's no getting around that, because the created realm is the marriage of the Father, which is spirit, and the Mother, which is form, right? And so you have spirit and form ends up with the child, which is creation, right? So if you want to be divine, you've got to replicate that. You've got to replicate that dynamic balance whereby creation comes forth, right? Because it takes spirit and form to bring manifestation. And making manifest is how you are a creator. And that's how you are most in the form of your creator, right? And so we have to keep our priorities straight, right? And now what should happen though is if you're wise and if you marry wisely, you should really, really come up very fast. Like that should be a really fast come up together, because you should be able to troubleshoot for each other and pinch hit for each other, right? And what's the word I'm looking for? Like tag team, right? And I carry some weight for you, you carry some weight for me. I push you faster, you push me faster. I let you rest while I grind. I let you, you go grind, I'm going to rest, right? You get into this flow whereby productivity is like, right? And so both of you should like boom, 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 boom together. And that's not to say that both of you are earning a big amount of money or that anything like that. But what happens is as a person, you're going to elevate and you're going to whatever that sphere of influence that you are in, whereby your works, your deeds, your thoughts, your essence is pouring out to others in such a way that it is giving them bounty, right? It's filling them up. You ever have those conversations? It's like kind of a cliche, right? Oh my gosh, I was so full after I, spent some time with them, right? My heart is full, right? That fullness, right? So whatever your sphere of influence is where you're feeding people, whether it's on your job where you're a mover and a shaker, or whether it's in the house with some kids, right? What's going to happen is if you have a balanced relationship with your counterpart, then you're going to really, really thrive in whatever area that is. And the impact is going to grow and expand, right? So I see Jessica talking about how the Mexicans do and other minorities. Yeah, like a lot of people around the world, especially, what's funny? A lot of times, if they would think like how they think when they come to America in their home countries, a lot of these countries wouldn't be in the shape that they're in. I don't know why it takes people around the world to come to America to realize that they can like impact change, team up together, all come up together, right? Because if they were doing that in their home countries, all these countries wouldn't be like, oh, America, please give us some of your filthy crumbs, right? But they do. When they come here, they get together, they work together as groups, and they come up together as groups, right? But they don't necessarily operate that way in their countries of origin, right? Why? Because they're dog-eat-dogging trying to get here. It's so backwards, right? So when they're in their home countries, they're cutthroat to each other because they want to get to the United States. Everybody wants to get to the United States. Everybody wants to be noticed by America. Everybody wants like Americanism, America to be a part of their reality and identity. So they over there stabbing and fighting each other. I want it. Right. And then they get here. And then they find the 5 of them that made it here. And then they do this like crazy job of supporting each other and building community and like boom, boom, boom. And now everybody got enough money to like send home a little crumbs home, send little crumbs home. But if they would implement that at home, America wouldn't be that impressive, right? Like the worst thing that could ever happen to America is for all her peoples from around the world to go home. Right. I mean, I know people that's like a thing, immigration, but I don't know what you think is going to happen if everybody just goes home. Right. Like, first of all, the Europeans are going to be really surprised that this ain't home for them. But let's just even say we just let them stick around and the people that were here before. Right. So you're going to have like me and Jessica. Right. We probably got some good old fashioned American lineage. Right. Teresa, you're going to be here. Right? Like it's going to be a bunch of us. They're going to be surprised because everybody's not getting on the boat. And got people like me, I'm going to get out. I got lots of options, right? Because Black folks were kind of all mixed up from these, from the different spots. They were like collecting us up and then they super bred us, right? Which I think is a hilarious thing that happened. Like that's one of those things like what the enemy means for your good, the Most High will like use it to bless you because like imagine them on these breeding farms and they just collected up melanin people from all around the world, told everybody, you're all from Africa. They scrounged them up from these soils, right? Everybody's from Africa. And then they made these like breeding farms where they took the smartest and the strongest and the brightest of us and they forced us to have babies so that they could have like this great workforce. And now they're all scratching their heads. Well, why are the black people so strong and athletic and super smart? You idiots like special bred the American black person, which is like, you know, a mix of like indigenous brown people, right? Because copper color, I don't know what y'all know about copper, okay? But it's brown, okay? So you got indigenous brown people, you got African brown people, you got Caribbean brown people, you got brown people from India, you got brown people from all the brown people from everywhere. They slept in ships and said that everybody's from Africa, everybody's slaves, everybody's from Africa. And they take the brightest and the strongest and they breed them together so that they got good slaves. So like the American black person, if you will, I know that's like a shady term and people, oh, we're not black, we're this, we're that. Listen, I like black. Black's cool with me, so deal, right? Y'all know who I mean when I say black, right? But like, and when I say black, Jessica, your people's included, because I don't know who told Puerto Ricans and Cubans and them, and all them, that they wasn't black, but somebody lied to them, okay? Just saying. But but what you have is, and that's what makes us unique from all of these other places where they still have indigenous populations. The way we're mixed up here makes us an exceptional race of people and a distinct race of people in that we're kind of the best of all the blacks, right? And it's very cool, you know, because you see the evidence of it. You see the way that we respond in a very deep way to all of, like, when we find any kind of history that is melanin people, we're like, our people, right? Oh my gosh, Asians were black at first. Buddha was black. Our people, right? Oh my God, Egyptians were black. Our people, right? Yeah, our people. So, okay, so you could have us, we could have a lottery, go where you want, okay? American black folks go where you want. And then people that identify with their home countries or whatever go where they want, right? America would suck really, 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 really fast. Like if we left those folks that you know, those Anglo people, if we left them and said, all right, fine, you got it, America's yours, take it, they would be in a very bad way for a lot of reasons. But like one of the reasons they would be in a very bad way is they only know how to try to claw to the top by themselves. They don't know how to do that thing where everybody wins together. They don't understand that that's winning. They don't feel like, you guys, this is why everybody's so jealous. I was thinking about, I don't know why I've been contemplating jealousy lately, right? But that's like that breeds jealousy, but we'll get back to that in a minute. Like they really don't understand the concept of like, we all win together. Like for them, it's like this. If I get a Benz, Jess, right? And you get a Benz, and Teresa, you get a Benz, right? And who we got in here? Brother Samuel, you get a Benz, right? Brother Bruce gets a Benz. We're going to be like, yeah, we all got Benzes, baby. Yeah, that's your hot. That red. Yeah, I like that red, you know. And then just, yeah, girl, that white. Oh, yeah, that's pretty with that caramel color interior, girl. We're going to be like that. Like, yeah, we all feel great. But they don't feel great. They be pissed off. They're looking to see who's one got the best one, who's one got the most expensive one, and why everybody got Benzes. Now they need a Ferrari because they can't feel good now because their Benz don't feel as special because everybody has one. So now it's not like special anymore. But we're like, it's more special if everybody has one. Right? You know how they feel. They get really, really mad. Like they don't feel like the blessing is a blessing if you have the same kind of blessing. And then our people done learn that bull nonsense. So now our people are running around all jealous of folks that got less than them. Because the folks are enjoying it. They can't stand to see you enjoy your life because they can see that you're winning in a way that they don't know how to win. They don't understand that fulfillment. They don't know what that's about. For them, it's always clawing, right? And there is just kind of a scientific explanation for it, actually, because all of the time that they spent in the caves, that was a very weird 6,000 years in the caves, guys, okay? The 6,000 years in the caves between the time that they were genetic spliced together and sent out because they were too weird, right? The scientists that were working on that were sent to the caves, like, go do that over there. That's gross, right? And they were in the most harsh regions on the planet, right? So when, like, down in Colombia, they're like eating mangoes, and drinking coconut water in Florida and eating peaches in California and avocados in Egypt or wherever. Like, everybody all over the world, they're eating bananas and stuff, and people got all kinds of bounty and deliciousness, right? Berries and juice running down people's arms and all this kind of stuff, right? All over the world for thousands of years. These guys are up there, like, in conditions that are so harsh, you can't leave if you want to leave the cave, you can't, right? Because everything is really, really hungry. Everything is really, really cold. Everything is really, really ferocious. So, like, in real life, while all this was going on, we're building pyramids all over the world, y'all. You see some of that stuff we did in Asia, some of them towers and pillars, and we're doing all this fancy stuff all over the world, all this fancy fly stuff, and all that's going on. And they're up in those caves, freezing their asses off and, like, eating their own people when they die because that's the only meat they have in the caves. Like 6,000 years of that. So when you come out of that kind of lack, you come out really, right? Very beastly. And you're already starting with a mixed genetic pool, right? That we don't even have time to get into right now. That's a whole other life for a whole other day. But that kind of experience, right, for thousands of years breeds a spiritual lack and poverty that is just ravenous. It's not something that can be healed, okay? It's not something that can be healed. This is why the Most High is like, listen, trust me, I'm not going to leave hardly none of them left because they're not redeemable, right? Which is why you're not supposed to do gene splicing. I just want to throw that out there, okay? Because all you end up with is, see, the Most High sends, and we're all over the place tonight, y'all, but oh well. So the Most High sends spirits. When he sends a spirit, a man and a woman come together because it's going to take their two essences to get this particular spirit, right, what it needs to take its proper form. And so a soul is assigned to that body. But when you create things that in petri dishes, right, which is, listen, call me crazy if you want to, dig the science, get off of Google sometimes, use a search engine that's not Google and study, right? Study. And if you don't want to study, learn to dream, because you're going to remember this stuff. Because a lot of you have been here since the beginning. And you forgot, right? But we're supposed to remember right now. It's time to remember because we got to do what we first came here to do. And also, don't let those people that do believe in reincarnation make you think that you're only here because you keep failing. That's not how that works. That doesn't work like that. Where do you know that if you fail, you get to come back for the next round? The only place that like where is that? Do you advance to the next level because you failed? Every age is getting increasingly more difficult to navigate, right? So if you're an old soul, it's because you keep winning every lifetime. Because the souls that don't achieve what they set out to achieve are simply eliminated from reincarnation because the next age is more difficult, right? So a lot of you that are watching, you're old souls. You need to remember. But you'll remember if you start to study. I'm telling you, get off of Google, go to GoDaddy or DuckDuckGo or something like that, and start to study and look into what they call mythology and all this kind of stuff. And you're going to start to put some pieces together, and then your stuff's going to start to make sense. And then you're going to start thinking, well, wait, why do I feel like I remember this? Why do I feel like this is familiar to me? Or even, you know what'll happen? This is something that's cute that'll happen to you every now. You're going to read something, you're going to be like, yes. And then you're going to get to a part and be like, wait, that don't sound right. Because you remember. And a lot of times they fill in the blanks with what they think stuff was. And as you're reading or listening or studying this material, you're going to be like, yeah, that's what I thought. And then there'll be a part that you'll be like, wait a minute. All right, let me chew on that for a minute. It's because you remember and you got it wrong, right? Like that's like going to happen to you, right? But if they remember, right? They remember their memory, like your cells have memory. They're carrying the experiences. We're just regenerating the same essence and remanifesting. And you have memory, your actual cells have memory, right? And so our cells, natural people, original people, most of us, right? Which there aren't like super a bunch of them. It's not like, oh, everybody's been here before. No, baby. No. The ancient souls are a distinct race, and it's not gazillion of us out here, right? I mean, we ain't like one or two. We're deep. We're deep enough that I'll tell you what, we're deep enough. We've held the sky up thus far, right? The Most High is like, y'all doing all right. Y'all all right. Y'all all right. I know it's getting crazy. Y'all all right. I'll crack the sky when you can't take it no more, right? So we've been doing all right thus far. But yeah. Anyway, I hope that wasn't too weird. I know that was kind of weird, right? But what I want you to just understand is that on a soul level, we are built for bounty. We are built to share. We are built to multiply what we have. And so the concept of being a single person, just you, and you are your biggest concern. And listen, I hate to say it, but Isha used to remind me of this. Your children are still you, okay? That's not really like the same when you give to your children and bountifully, abundantly bless them. They are a form of your bountiful abundance, right? But when you like super bless your kids, that's still a really small circle of bountiful abundance, right? You want it to roll over outside of your household. You want it to roll out of your own personal sphere of control, right? Because you still have a bit of control over your kids, so that's still kind of yours, right? But what we do is we evermore increase the space that we take up, the dominion, right? And so your children are going to, right? Like you're 1 and then now you're 5, now they're 25, now they're whatever over the generation. So that's the way you're literally increasing your genetics, right? You're multiplying yourself. But then there's the concept of like community building, if you will, right? And with community building, it should happen the same way. So if you're just you and your kids, just one island, and you all come up together, you still failed. Even though you and your kids came up together, you still failed if you didn't bring, like, who did your kids bring, right? Who besides your kids did you bring? It should bubble over to other people. And then the more it bubbles over, the bigger your sphere of influence goes. Now, what you're doing is you're actually taking spiritual territory. That is taking dominion, right? That is saying that these souls under my umbrella, these souls belong to the kingdom of bounty versus the kingdom of lack, right? So, shalom. Thank you. I'm doing what I can. The Most High is teaching all of us. So we have to tap into that. But at the very base level, if you are doing all of this out like bounty out there, but you don't have a counterpart, you are a counterfeit, right? You have to have that prior relationship, or else you're only giving. Like, what are you giving? What are you duplicating? A tails or a heads? It's counterfeit, right? So like it might seem like, and listen, and on a really real level, y'all know I like to be grown. I don't have, this ain't the kiddie one, okay? This ain't the kiddie one. I cuss, I smoke weed, and I talk about real shit, okay? So on a real level, it's true, because whoever was in a real winning season in your life and was single, shit sucks. Come on, keep it real. I mean, it don't all just suck. It's pretty fly to be winning. But dang black sight well, you be like, damn, I wish I had somebody share this with. And like, these kids don't count. Go somewhere in your room or something. Like, yeah, them kid hugs are nice. They're nice. The little arms around your neck and hallelujah. I ain't trying to, throw the kids out or nothing. But y'all know on some really real stuff. It don't matter what you win and how fly you look in the awards and the newspaper and the fans and the this and that. You know something is missing if you don't have that counterpart. You know something's missing, and you can tell yourself all day long you don't need a man and you don't need a woman and blah blah blah, but you know you're a damn blasted lie. You know you're lying. You know in your core something is missing, and it's a key something. It's not like something insignificant. It's a key something. It's a consuming something. It is a consuming something. Why? Because you cannot do it. You can't win without that part. You can't win without that part. The only people that win without that part are spiritual eunuchs, and that's people who truly don't desire that, right? But that's not a lot of people. There's two ways to be a spiritual eunuch, right? When you just don't have sexuality, right? You don't desire sex at all. Or some people are spiritual eunuchs because they have wayward, defiling sexual desires, and so they silence their sexual desires so as not to defile themselves or others, right? That's a spiritual eunuch, right? So that's how you can be a eunuch before Yah. If you have like a wayward sexuality, then you will shut it down, right? You don't like if you like little kids or something, right? You wouldn't just like sneak around and follow little kids. You would silence your sexuality. So you would never be around children. You would not watch things about children. You would just stay a eunuch. You would not experience sexual arousal, right? You would avoid it. You would, and anything that you avoid long enough will go away, except the healthy, natural desire for a mate that is your equal balance. That's not going to go away. Tell me if I'm lying. Tell me if I'm lying. Tell me, does that go away? It does not. Now people can say all they want. People say all they want. We know it doesn't go away, right? Until you're old. And by then, a whole lot of stuff done went away, right? But that desire to be loved by your equal is a core part of your assignment. It's the most critical aspect of your assignment, right? It determines your growth and development. How do you grow and develop without a mirror? Like, what are you doing? How do you even know if you're growing and developing? For all you know, you're just going in circles for years and years and years and years and years, and you're going in circles. You don't know that, right? You need like something to say, see you, this is you. Look at you in circles and shit, right? Not just that, like that's just like that's for the rest of us that you get that mirror and get to work on you. That's for the rest of us, okay? That's not that part. It's not for you, because you can be fine going in circles and think that's swell, but then the rest of us got to interface with you, and we're like, yo, I know you think you just went somewhere, but we're right back where you were 9 seconds ago. This is a repeat performance. You don't give a shit. You're in your happy little crazy little world, right? So it's for the benefit of the rest of us that your mate is a mirror to you and can interrupt some of them patterns, and like, yeah, it makes it easy for the rest of the world to interface with you, right? But the benefits for you, I ain't got to tell you the benefits for you. Who here has loved? Who here has loved? You know the benefits. You know it's a different life when you have a partner who loves you versus when you don't. It's a completely different reality, right? And to be honest, to be really honest, we women need to recognize that for us, it's extra critical to our reality, because there is no us without man. Now, the Most High is cute how we balanced it out, right? Because he takes the rib from the man and he creates woman, and now every man must pass through woman. So there is no us without them, but then now there's no them without us, right? See that balance, right? The Most High always builds balance into everything. So we women, we think we have some reality, but even when they say, well, Eve walked with the Most High in the garden alone. Yeah, but she was still, that rib came from somewhere. That rib, she thought she was walking in the garden alone. Just because she ain't met Adam yet, that don't mean he didn't exist, right? She's literally his essence. So for women to not have a man, That is a very spiritual, like a very dysfunctional spiritual state. Like, it's not good. Like, if it wasn't good for Adam to be alone, you can trust and believe it's not good for Eve to be alone, because Eve doesn't exist without Adam. She comes from him, right? And again, I don't want you ladies to get upset and be like, oh, well, men come from, yeah, they come from us, but we come from him first. We come from him first, right? So I hope that made some sense to you guys. So at the end of the day, guys, what we need to recognize is that we don't win alone. First of all, the concept that you did it alone is bogus, okay? Somebody taught you how to read. Somebody taught you how to tie your shoes. Somebody taught you how to use a fork, okay? You didn't do none of this crap alone. None. Nothing alone did you ever did. No, you did not. Even if you are some off-grid inventor somewhere who invented your own ish, where'd you get the materials? You made them too? Really? You did all that yourself? Somewhere out there's an army that protects the country wherein your little off-grid space is. And if it's not for people in that army, no off-grid space for you. So you can cut off the world all you want and think you're doing it alone, but you ain't doing it alone. Right? That's not true. It's just not true. It doesn't exist, right? It literally doesn't. You can't even breathe alone. Like, without the trees, you're a goner. There's no you without the trees. You need oxygen. The trees give you the oxygen. You didn't come up with the oxygen alone. Somebody has to help you breathe. Thanks, trees. Shout out to chlorophyll, right? And whatnot. Like, so there's no alone. There's no doing it alone, right? But winning must be shared. And if you get to the end of your life and you haven't had these kinds of symbiotic experiences where your soul's progression is directly linked to the progression of other souls, you are going to be cast out, because you're not one of us. You're not in there, right? Because Yah is one. Yah is not many. Yah manifests infinitely, but Yah is one. You know, there's this cat, Emanuel Swedenborg, who's got these real deep writings. My dad was a Swedenborg guy. And I'm very grateful for that, because he had some beautiful stuff that we studied. But there's this thing that he says that was so powerful to me when he said it, because I'm like, that's the truth right there, is that when you see one angel, it appears as one angel, right? But in the spirit realm, when you see 1,000 angels, it still appears as one angel, because they're one. They have one purpose. Like, if it's an army of angels in the spirit realm, it's just one angel, one really big one, right? Because oneness makes you one. And so angels who are obedient to Yah have one purpose. That's to glorify Yah, right? So like a worshiping angel, you wouldn't know if it's one angel or 50 million. It's all the same. It's going to manifest the same, because they're one. They're so one. They're in such unity that it's like your body. Your body is so one. Yeah, sure, it's millions of cells, but you're one, right? And so we have to come into that oneness. And you can't do it if you skip the primary relationship, which is that marriage, right? That marriage, your marriage to your equal opposite, is your primary relationship, wherein you get to practice oneness and get to manifest bounty and fruitful multiplication. That's the primary relationship that you get to do that in. And then everything else should just flow out from that. But if you skip that and you do all this everything else, it's a counterfeit. It's like, okay, well, this looks good, but there's no bottom. There's no, you know? So I know that's challenging for a lot of us, because, like, you know, it's hard to find a mate. But at least you understanding that it is a part of your soul's purpose, even if you're having trouble finding a mate, right? Which a lot of times just means you lack the type of coping skills that it requires to hold on to the type of mate that you want, right? That's usually the case. Or you have poor decision-making skills. And so you don't choose a mate that's worthy of you. You choose a mate that isn't, for whatever dysfunctional reasons. And that's both of those are whole other lives, whole other talks. But in a healthy natural being, right? That's going to be, that's like a top priority, right? And you just don't see it anywhere else in the creative realm where there's like this singleness. Like, who does that? Flowers don't even do it. Like, you need what is it? I forget the flower parts. Who remembers what the flower parts are? Right. If you want to go fast, Brother Michael Rayner saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. That's right. And we want to go far. We want to go into infinity. So if we want to go into infinity, that means we all got to go. Right? We all have to go. And whoever we all is that's going to go are those souls who come into alignment with that, with the concept that it takes all of us to get there. And then those souls that don't believe that, they don't have to worry because they're not going that far. They're not going into infinity with us, right? They got other places they're destined for, hot ones. Sorry, free will is divine. Far be it from me to take away somebody's choice for a good old, hot time. But for those of us that are into infinity, those of us that been here from the get-go, that's like we wrapping up this thing. It's like this is the finale. Like we really about to wrap this thing. Like it's really finally about to wrap this thing up. We don't want to like fall now because this age is particularly designed against natural people, right? And any natural aspect of the realm. This is the age that is attempting to literally sever. I don't know if you guys know about this COVID vaccine, right? And if you've taken it, I'm really sorry. And if I were you, I would be very prayerful about that, right? But the thing that is really troublesome about the COVID vaccine is that for thousands of years, these demons have been trying to find the gene that makes people connect with the Most High. They've been trying to figure out what it is about man that keeps returning to the Most High. Like even no matter what happens, certain spirits will just continue to be drawn to the Most High. And we can find them through anything, guys. We find them through anything. We find them through religions oppressed upon us. We find them in the woods. We find them in war. We find like certain souls will just keep finding the Most High, right? And they know that it's genetic because they know that there are souls out there that don't. And no matter how they press, they can't find it. It's like those people that don't have rhythm and like they just can't get it, right? Like it's not in them. So this is true also for the experience of communion with the divine. And they have actually isolated that gene, guys. They figured out what that gene marker is. And this vaccine is designed to eliminate that gene from your gene pool. Like in all seriousness, because it gives you an advantage. And they don't like that the wrong ones have this social advantage, right? They want to even the playing field. So if you can connect with the divine, they can they got to go to school for 88 years to get something. And all you got to do is fast and pray for 2 freaking weeks. And then you both end up at the same place and you pass them. Right. And they know that that's true. They know that the Yah factor is the game changing and the deciding factor. So they've isolated that gene. And they have created this vaccine with the specific purpose of eliminating that gene from your gene pool. Like it's not a game. This is a real war. It's a real war that we've been fighting for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, right? So this is about natural versus unnatural, right? And they'll try to get you to hate nature and make everything so spiritual that you hate nature and hate your flesh and hate the world and hate. No. Right? Yeshua said, love your neighbor as yourself, which means you better love yourself. All this like self-loathing that Paul's into, like, y'all know how I feel about Paul. I wish I could erase him from history. He did such a number on us. Right? Yes, exactly. Thank you guys. Check Brother Michael. Thank you. Check that link, guys. This isn't a game. I don't just get on here and talk crazy. This is a war, and we need to know what the cuss is going on and what we're up against. Right? Now, you guys heard when I read the scripture. Let me see if I can find it again. Where it talks about the demons literally can't get you if you're in a marriage. Like there's certain demons that literally cannot even come near you because you have that male and female protect each other just by default. Just having the male and female together in union, certain demons literally can't even bother. They won't even bother because they can't. It's impenetrable. It's a spiritual strong tower that certain demons cannot. They can't fool with it. Where was that, guys? That was in, what were we reading when we read that? Was that in the end of days somewhere? Who remembers? Anybody remember where that was? I wish I could find it really quick. But anyway, there is a live that we actually read that scripture. Oh, here it is. Listen. Marriage is a sacrament and a mystery. It is grand, for the world is founded upon man, and man founded upon marriage. Consider sex. It has great power, although its image is defiled. Among the manifestations of unclean spirits, there are male and female. The males are those who mate with the souls of inhabiting a female form, and the female spirits invite those inhabiting a male form to have sex. Once seized, no one escapes unless they receive both the male and female power that is endued to the groom with the bride. The power is seen in the mirrored bridal chamber. When foolish women see a man sitting alone, they want to subdue him, touch and handle him, and defile him. When foolish men see a beautiful woman sitting alone, they wish to seduce her, draw her in with desire, and defile her. But if the spirits see the man sitting together with the woman, the female spirits cannot intrude upon the male, and the male spirit cannot intrude upon the woman. When image and angel are mated, no one can come between the man and the woman. You see? So that's not, marriage isn't just for horny people that want some in-house or something like that. It's critical. It is critical to your being able to fulfill your true destiny. It is critical, right? And I don't mean to say that if you don't end up married that you can't fulfill your destiny, but I definitely need you to understand it needs to be on your top list of priorities to find and develop a balanced marriage. It's top priority, guys. You can't win without it. So we're at 53 minutes. We're under an hour, and I'm feeling like I'm wrapping it up. How was that? Anybody got anything they want to say? Anybody want to get on the camera and give me some feedback, Brother Michael? You are the MVP, guys. You definitely want to follow that link that he put in there. That's like not a game. Just listen. Stay woke. Stay woke. Stay woke. Stay woke. Right. But anybody want to get on? Sister Sherry, I see you just come in the room. We're getting off, babe, but we're going to be off in about, I don't know, it takes me forever to say goodbye, but eventually we'll be off. And you can just watch it as a rebroadcast, sweetie. I'll go ahead and post it when we get off, right? So if you haven't already, guys, please go to Black Enlightainment on YouTube, and you want to like and subscribe. And you can hit the notifications button over there. Maybe you'll get the notifications, because some people were telling me they don't get the notifications from my lives on Facebook, but I don't think YouTube's no better, y'all. But either way, even if you don't do that, check out the playlist entitled The Culture and tell me what you think. Those are some original songs by yours truly. And have fun with them. They're really raw. They're just like the basic song. They don't have any professional working done to them. And there's parts to them that aren't there, like layers, and harmonies and things like that aren't there. But you can get this general gist of the songs. I think they're cool. And if it inspires you to like, hey, I could really make that song jazzy, anything like that, hit me up. Or if you know people in the business, because you're going to see that I clearly need help in like the technical department when it comes to the songs. So if you know somebody who's actually going to do it, okay? Because I keep getting these people that say they want to work with me, get all excited, and then they find out my theology is all weird, and then they like, they want to argue with me and stuff. Mostly it's about white people. Mostly it's because they don't like the way that I speak about these races. But I'm sorry, Yah is a racist, and he talks about races. He talks this race, that race, and my race, okay? So I'm of Yah's race, and then there's like other, you know what I mean? And it's not to say that there aren't representatives of righteousness in all races, because the Most High clearly tells us he has sheep from different pastures, right? But here's how you know they're righteous. They cling to you in humility. They recognize that you are the race, and then they cling to you in humility. And that's how you know that there are those from the other races that are called out. But anyway, so with that, guys, we are out of here. It's your girl, Jetty, Empress Jetty, the Rabble Rouser. And you Facebook people don't have the cool view like the YouTube people got. They got a really cool view of the ancestors sitting behind me. So I'm gonna let y'all say peace out to my three homies that are here chilling with us. Peace out to the homies. The YouTube people had a really nice view of them the whole time, and I just noticed that. So thanks, guys. Prayerfully, I'll be on tomorrow morning. Listen, my dreams have been like wild. Also, that's another thing. If you know somebody that's good at dream interpretations, I really could use somebody right now. My dreams have been like wild. I wake up and I journal them. So that's what's been making me late for the lives and even missing the lives, because I don't really like to do it late because I know a lot of people are working and stuff like that. And then it's like, I mean, I guess I still could, but I prefer when people are actually in the room with me. So, but my dreams have been like really something lately. And so we'll see about tomorrow morning. Let's just say I won't start any later than 7. Okay. If it's after 7 and I'm still writing, then just look for me in the evening. Right. But prayerfully sometime between 6 and 7 in the morning, I'll go live again. Maybe we'll be reading from Black Love Matters, get another tidbit. Because let me see, we just dug into the guys last night. So ladies, you're going to get it tomorrow. You know, I go back and forth. So let's see if I can get on y'all nerves. Anyway, one love. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for participating. Brother Michael, thanks again for your words and your contribution. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Love you, ladies. Shalom.